Tife was a 24-year-old girl who lived in a small town. She was chubby, and her skin was dark, but she carried herself with a quiet dignity. Many people around her used to judge her only by her looks. They did not see her heart, her dreams, or her determination. Tife belonged to a very simple family. Her parents worked hard every day to support her studies. They did not have much money, but they always believed in her. From her childhood, Tife had a dream. She wanted to study well, complete her education, and get a good job. She often told herself, one day, I will make my parents proud. Even though she faced many challenges, she never let go of this dream. Tife was not the most popular girl in her area. Some children and even neighbors teased her for being overweight and dark-skinned. They whispered, laughed, and sometimes even made cruel comments. At first, these words hurt her deeply. She would cry alone in her room and wonder why people could not accept her the way she was. But slowly, she decided not to care about what others thought. She realized that her life was her own journey, and her worth was not defined by her appearance. When she turned 24, Tife got the chance to enter college. For her, this was more than just admission. It was the first big step toward her dream. She walked into the college gates with hope in her heart. She knew the road would not be easy, but she was ready to face it. Tife believed in one simple truth: if she worked hard, if she stayed strong, she could rise above all the laughter, all the teasing, and all the doubts. Her story was just beginning. When Tife entered college, she felt both excited and nervous. It was a new world, full of new people and new challenges. She had always dreamed of being here, but she also knew it would not be simple. On her very first day, she noticed the way some students looked at her. They whispered and giggled, pointing at her weight and her dark skin. Tife tried to ignore them, but their words sometimes cut like sharp knives. Despite the bullying, Tife held her head high. She remembered her parents' sacrifices and her own promise to herself. Every morning, she told herself, I am here to learn, not to please anyone. My education is my strength. This thought gave her courage to walk into classrooms filled with people who did not always welcome her. In class, Tife paid attention to every lesson. While others wasted time laughing or gossiping, she focused on her books. She sat in the front row, took notes carefully, and asked questions bravely. Some students mocked her seriousness, but she did not care. She wanted knowledge more than she wanted popularity. There were moments when loneliness hurt her. During lunch breaks, when groups of friends sat together chatting and laughing, Tife often sat alone with her books. At times, tears filled her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away. She reminded herself that this loneliness was temporary, but her education would stay with her forever. Not everyone was unkind. A few teachers noticed her dedication. They encouraged her, saying she was capable of achieving great things. These small words of kindness became a light in her difficult journey. College life was not easy for Tife, but it made her stronger. Each insult became a reason to work harder. Each lonely moment became a test of her patience. Deep inside, she carried a fire of determination that nobody could put out. She knew that one day, her success would silence every cruel laugh and every mocking word. Tife's college life slowly turned into a battlefield, but her fight was not against other people, it was against the pain inside her. Every day she walked into class knowing some students would whisper, laugh, or make rude jokes. She learned to keep her face calm, even when her heart was heavy. She did not reply, she did not argue. She stayed silent. But in that silence, she made a secret promise to herself: I will not give up. I will show them who I truly am. Her silent struggle began with discipline. While many students wasted time, Tife created a daily routine. She woke up early, studied before going to college, and revised her lessons at night. Sometimes she stayed awake until late, her eyes burning with tiredness, but her mind full of determination. Books became her closest friends, and notebooks carried her hopes for the future. There were moments when the struggle felt unbearable. Sometimes she cried quietly at night, hiding her tears from her parents. She did not want them to know how cruel people were at college. She only wanted them to see her strong side. To her parents, she showed a smile, but inside she carried the weight of loneliness. Still, Tife refused to break. She realized that her silence was not weakness, it was her strength. She was letting her hard work speak for her. Slowly, her results began to improve. She scored higher than many of the same classmates who mocked her. Some were shocked, but Tife did not boast. She remained humble, quietly moving forward, step by step. The struggle continued every day, but so did her courage. Each insult became fuel for her determination. Each lonely meal, each cruel laugh, became another reason to succeed. Tife understood that battles are not always fought with words. Some battles are won with patience, discipline, and unshakable focus. And Tife was winning, even if nobody noticed it yet. After years of hard work, Tife finally reached the last stage of her college journey. Exams were coming closer, and this was the moment she had been waiting for. All the pain, all the loneliness, and all the insults had brought her here. She wanted to prove not only to others, but also to herself, that she could achieve what she dreamed of. During exam days, Tife gave her best. She studied late into the night, sometimes with only a small lamp lighting her room. She repeated lessons again and again until she was sure of every detail. While others panicked or wasted time, she remained focused. She did not allow fear to control her. Instead, she turned her nervousness into energy. When the results were announced, Tife's heart beat fast. She held her breath as she checked the list. And there it was, her name at the top. She had passed with excellent marks. For a moment, she could not believe it. Tears filled her eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. She had done it. Her family celebrated her success with pride. Her parents hugged her tightly, their faces glowing with happiness. For them, this achievement was more than just a degree, it was the fruit of years of sacrifice and patience. They always believed in her, and now the world had proof of her ability. Even her classmates, the same ones who used to laugh at her, were surprised. Some could not understand how the girl they mocked had become one of the best students. Others felt a quiet respect for her, even if they did not admit it aloud. Tife smiled, but she did not let pride take over. She knew this was only the beginning. Her education was complete, but her real journey was about to start. She whispered to herself, "This is my first victory. Now I am ready for the world." With her education complete, Tife felt ready to step into the real world. She prepared her documents, wrote her applications, and attended interviews with a mix of fear and hope. Every interview was a test of her confidence. Sometimes, people judged her by her looks before even hearing her answers. But Tife did not give up. She reminded herself that she carried knowledge, discipline, and skills that no one could take away. After weeks of waiting, Tife finally received the news she had been dreaming of. She got her first job in a company. The moment she read the letter, her heart filled with excitement. She ran to her parents, holding the paper tightly in her hands. They hugged her, tears of happiness rolling down their faces. It was the moment when all her struggles turned into victory. On her first day at work, Tife wore a simple dress and carried her files with pride. Walking into the company building, she felt nervous but also proud. For the first time, she was not just a student, but a professional. She had her own desk, her own tasks, and a chance to prove herself in a new world. The job was not easy. There were deadlines, meetings, and responsibilities. But Tife faced them with the same determination she had shown in college. She worked hard, stayed late when needed, and always gave her best. Her managers noticed her dedication and began to trust her with bigger tasks. Slowly, she started building her career step by step. For Tife, This job was more than a salary. It was proof that her dreams were coming true. It gave her confidence, independence, and the strength to face life with a new smile. She knew the journey ahead would bring new challenges, but she was ready. The little girl who once cried in silence was now a strong woman standing tall in her first company. As Tife settled into her new job, her hard work began to shine. She completed tasks on time, offered smart ideas in meetings, and handled responsibilities with honesty. Her managers were impressed and often praised her. Slowly, she started gaining respect in the company. But not everyone was happy about her success. Some colleagues noticed the attention Tife was receiving. Instead of appreciating her efforts, they felt jealous. They whispered behind her back, saying she didn't deserve her position. A few even laughed at her appearance, just like her old classmates had done in college. They thought her dark skin and chubby figure made her unfit for a professional world. At first, these comments hurt Tife. She felt the same pain she had carried in her college days. But this time, she was stronger. She remembered her journey, the sleepless nights, and the battles she had already won. She told herself, "I have worked too hard to let their words break me now." Instead of reacting to jealousy, Tife stayed calm. She focused only on her work. While others wasted time gossiping, she continued proving her worth. Every successful project became her answer to their doubts. Slowly, some of her colleagues realized that her talent was real and her success was earned. Of course, there were still a few who kept mocking her. They made jokes during lunch breaks or exchanged looks when she entered the room. But Tife had learned the greatest lesson: what people say does not define who you are. Only your actions and your achievements show your true value. The jealousy of others no longer scared her. It only pushed her to work harder. She understood that when people try to bring you down, it often means you are already standing above them. Tife smiled silently, knowing that her journey was far from over and her light was only beginning to shine. Tife's journey was not easy, but step by step, she proved her strength. From being mocked in college to becoming a respected professional in her company, she showed everyone that true success comes from courage, not from looks. Her story became an example for many who once doubted her. With time, even those who laughed at her began to notice her determination. They saw how she never responded with anger, never wasted her energy on arguments, and always let her work speak louder than words. Slowly, their laughter faded. In place of mockery came a quiet respect. Some colleagues even began to ask her for guidance on their own projects. One day, her manager called her into the office. He praised her hard work and announced that she would be promoted. Hearing those words, Tife felt a wave of happiness. She remembered the lonely lunches, the cruel jokes, and the silent tears she had once hidden. Now, all of it seemed worth it. She had turned her pain into power. Outside the office, she sat for a moment and whispered to herself, "This is not just my victory. This is the victory of every person who has been laughed at, every person who is judged by appearance instead of ability." Her success carried a lesson. Beauty is not about skin or shape. It is about strength, patience, and the will to rise again and again. Tife became living proof that no insult can stop a determined heart. In the end, Tife's story teaches us that success is not given, it is earned. And when it is earned with honesty and hard work, no jealousy, no cruelty, and no laughter can ever take it away. Tife stood tall, not just as an employee of a company, but as an inspiration to everyone who ever felt small. And this was the inspiring story of Tife, a girl who proved that success does not depend on beauty, but on courage and hard work. What do you think about Tife's journey? Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to read them. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon for more motivational stories.